Hi, Rich Carrubba for bowlingball.com. Let's talk about how you can get more life out of your old bowling balls. Now, first of all, we got to decide what's an old bowling ball. I would think anything more than 1 year old or 2 years old bowling balls that you've owned, that you've added a couple of new pieces of equipment to your arsenal since the time you acquired a given bowling ball, then that ball would be in an older classification. Now, balls could be 6 or 10 years old, and they can still be useful to you. But you got to decide when, depending on the number of bowling balls you have. So the first thing to do is to make sure that all your older equipment that you know you're going to use from time to time, the cover stock is in good condition. You need to get to the pro shop and have them resurface the cover stock periodically. Try to eliminate as many of the nicks and scratches as you can. Just normal ones are not going to affect the way the ball rolls dramatically. Gouges and real deep scars in the bowling ball certainly will. But nevertheless, try to make sure that you keep the surface not only resurfaced, but screen the surface of the ball so you pick up the amount of surface friction you want for the given amount of traction you want on the lane. Now, if you want to use the ball for very, very dry lanes or shooting spares, assemble all your older equipment together and take a look at them. I would say plastic and urethane cover stocks are the two ones that you most want to keep for dry lanes. And if I had to choose between the two, I'd probably take a regular urethane ball because you can keep the surface resurfaced, very smooth and highly polished, but you're going to get a little consistent traction out of the ball. You'll get a consistent look, but it won't hook dramatically for dry lanes. And it might give you a little bit more hitting power than the plastic ball. So that's something to consider. And then you should have one of those bowling balls handy for your arsenal. And of course, if you want to further fine-tune your game with the different screening procedures, you can wake up a bowling ball if it's urethane or even reactive resin or any of the new type of cover stocks by changing the surface friction on them. And you should learn to get as good as you can with these newer bowling balls so you can adjust them to match the lane conditions you encounter most frequently or you anticipate that you will encounter in competition like a tournament or something like that. Now, if your arsenal has more than 3 bowling balls, certainly if you just have 3 bowling balls, you want a ball for heavy oil, medium, and then dry conditions. But for more than 4, then you're afforded the luxury of adding one more ball to fit in between 2 of the main staples or pieces of equipment that you have, say between heavy and medium heavy oil or between dry and medium oil conditions. You can add another bowling ball in between. It could be a brand new type of bowling ball. Or it could be one of your older ones, like an older urethane ball, one of the original urethane balls that you might have in the closet or in the garage at home, somewhere that you might have bowled with it before in the past, had some good results. Sometimes those balls can still work real well because usually they don't make dramatic moves. They're very stable and controllable, smooth arcing bowling balls, and that's very good on conditions like USBC red pattern. What does that mean? House conditions, huh? You get wet, dry conditions, and sometimes these newer bowling balls with very aggressive covers or very high differential, the ball will hook too dramatically on you. It's difficult to keep it in the pattern. You see everybody else striking at will and hitting the pocket every shot, and you're having a hard time doing it. Sometimes it's a simple matter of switching the ball. It's easy to control, realigning yourself, something that isn't going to hook dramatically out of the pattern on you, and you'll improve your pocket percentage. So keep that in mind if you're going to add one of the older, less aggressive bowling balls to your arsenal. Just keep the cover stock in good shape. Now, you might want a particle bowling ball for really heavy oil. Some of these cover stocks are very aggressive, and you can experiment a little bit with the surface texturing on those, and it's very good. Sometimes those very aggressive cover stocks, if you really sand them down or get the screening pads down to 500 or 1,000 grit finish, will stabilize the motion. It'll just start sooner to fight oil, but it'll help decrease some of the back end reaction from the break point to the pocket. It's only the real aggressive reactive resin covers that are highly polished and very tacky that are going to respond pretty aggressively from the break point to the pocket. So you can play with heavier equipment for heavy oil and still get a controllable arc. All these things are possible if you get real good at understanding how to prepare the cover stocks to match with your game. And you want to do that in concert or in consultation with your own pro shop operator, whoever drills the balls for you, someone in your bowling team, let's say, that can help advise you. It's surprising how these capabilities of modifying cover stocks with the screening procedures, polishes, cleaners, and so on. And by the way, you should carry some cleaners and polishes to the lanes with you that are cleared for use in USBC competition, because when you get done bowling or even during competition, you can clean the dirt and the grease and so on, the rubber marks from the ball return units right off your bowling ball. Keep that cover stock prepared so it will react very consistently. All those are things that can help you. All the little details are things that can help you. So you can get life out of your own bowling balls. Return the cover stocks to their preparation. Take them all to the practice lane and experiment with them. Calibrate them against each other. Select your key arsenal that you're going to bring to your to the bowling center with you, and any equipment that you elect to get rid of, why not consider donating them to the youth leagues or youth programs at your local bowling center. Sometimes some kids can't afford a bowling ball, and they might appreciate having one that they can plug and re-drill to fit their hand. So those are things for you to think about. We want to wish you all the best. Thank you.